Hey everybody, and welcome back to the board meeting. Today we are going to be taking a look at and reviewing the latest Unmatched box set that has come out. I believe it's the 19th box set, if I counted correctly. And this is Slings and Arrows. This is a 4-character set that has come out with characters that are from Shakespeare. You have actually Shakespeare yourself, along with 3 of the characters that he wrote throughout his life. So you've got Shakespeare along with his actors. You have Hamlet as a character. You have the Wayward Sisters. And then you have Titania for this set. I like the idea of this set because it's a new wacky idea. Throwing in these, when this got announced, I was very excited for this set. And we're just going to go through all 4 of the different characters, and then after that I'm going to give my thoughts on the characters and this set as a whole. First, for the map, you have the Globe Theater, which works well for this setting. The map is the map. I don't talk about maps too much because I care less about the maps than other people. Other people can have their opinions of this map, but I like this setting for the map. So for the first character, we're going to start with the primary person for this set that this set was kind of centered around, and that is Shakespeare. And I'm going to go through all their abilities. His special ability is the iambic pentameter. I apologize, I can't say that word. But his ability, after you attack or defend, add your card to your line. When your line has 10 or more syllables, discard your line. If there are exactly 10 syllables, resolve the completion effect of that card. And he's got 3 different actors as his sidekicks. The one health little sidekicks. He's got 13 health. Everything's 2 movement. That's all melee characters. And for that iambic pentameter reading, on the side of each of his cards has a little symbol for how many syllables are on. You want to get exactly 10, and then you're going to be able to do the special effect of that card if you reach 10. And it doesn't take long to reach 10. You could reach 10 in 2 cards, or you might reach 10 in 5 cards if you just do the 2-syllable cards. And, the special abilities are interesting. Some are pretty powerful. Some are kind of like mundane. Like this, if you get this one to activate, you get to draw a card. And they're just little things that activate after each of his turns. Good character. I'll save my review for the final part. The next is Hamlet. Hamlet is he's a melee character. He's got 15 health, and he's got Rosencrantz and Guildenstern as the little sidekick. But interesting enough, the sidekick is just one sidekick piece rather than multiple, so it shows 2 people, which I thought was strange. They're both melee characters. His ability is the question. So at the start of your turn, choose to be or not to be. If you choose not to be, deal 2 damage to one of your fighters, which is interesting. So you can do 2 damage to Hamlet or 2 damage to the sidekick piece. And if you choose to be, when you maneuver, you draw 1 additional card. And we choose not to be, add +2 to the value of Hamlet's attacks. So you have this little piece right here. So at the start of your turn, you're going to choose to be or not to be, and you're going to get bonuses for whichever thing you choose. But interesting enough, if you choose not to be, you're going to automatically take those 2 damage at the start of your turn, but you're going to get that bonus +2 for every attack. So you might want to choose not to be if you're going to be able to pull off a couple attacks in that turn, or if you're like really desperate, and you can assign your damage to the sidekicks, and you can basically kill them off, which I've done a couple times in this game, to get that extra boost to Hamlet himself. And it's an interesting mechanic for sure. And especially when you maneuver, you're getting that +1 draw for when you're maneuvering. So, you can choose not to be and deal all this damage, and then you're going to use up a lot of your cards. But then you can switch to the other side for the next couple turns and just draw a ton of cards. You can draw 4 cards each turn if you just maneuver a couple times, replenishing your hand size very, very quickly in this turn, rather than taking a couple turns to do so. So that's pretty nice. Next, we have the Wayward Sisters, which is a 3-character set. You get 3 of these sisters. All 3 of them have 6 health. They've got 2 moves, and they're all melee characters. And what's interesting in this set is every character is a melee character except for Titania, which I'll get into her. She's the only ranged characters. All the sidekicks are melee as well. But this one, this is the second character or fighter that has come out that has 3 fighters for them. The first was the Raptors. So for the Wayward Sisters, the special ability is the Bubbling Brew. Your cards go into your cauldron instead of your discard pile. And this is your cauldron. It comes with this big, giant cardboard piece. And after you attack, you may cast 1 spell that you have ingredients for. If you do, discard all the cards in your cauldron. Now, her cards all have these ingredients on the sides, you know, bats and stuff like that. And then you can, and at the end of the turn after you attack, you can use one of your spells, which the spells are listed on this little cauldron piece that you get. And, you know, you're kind of playing cards in a certain way that you want certain of your ingredients to come on here so that you can do these special things. There's nothing like amazing on here, but the fact is it feels really powerful because you're going to be resolving several times throughout the game some of these abilities. And so one of them is if you discard a snake and a bat, you can draw 1 card, one of your fighters recovers 1 health. You can move any fighter up to 3 spaces. You can deal 1 damage to a fighter that shares a zone with any of your fighters, or you can gain 1 action if you discard all 3 of the different ingredients. And that's a cool ability. I really like the Wayward Sisters. They're very neat, you know, being able to choose which ingredients you're going to be playing so that you can activate these different spells. Very thematic. I love that part. So yeah, that's Wayward Sisters. And going on to the final character, this is Titania. Now, Titania, like I said, she is the only ranged character in this set. She only has a 2 move. And interesting enough, every character in this set only has a 2 move. So they were all like melee characters for the most part with 2 movement. And she comes with a sidekick, Oberon. And what's interesting, for Titania, she was the one that I didn't know anything about. I've never read this play or book or whatever. And so this was interesting. I love when characters come out that I know nothing about. And her special ability is Fairy Magic. If you do not have a face-up glamour at the start of your turn, flip the top card of your glamour deck face-up. Its effect is ongoing while it remains face-up. And her glamour cards are these 6 little mini cards that she has that have some kind of special ability on them. And so, like, if this card is face-up, it's the Glamour of Greed. At the end of your turn, you may draw 1 card. And she's going to be playing cards that are going to be discarding some of her glamour throughout the game. And when you discard a glamour, you usually get some kind of bonus. But when you discard a glamour, it goes to the next glamour, which is going to give you a different special ability. And it's just a really cool character, and I really enjoy her quite a bit. And yeah, so that's the 4 characters in this set. Now, what do I think about this set as a whole? I love this set. I really enjoy the theme of this set. I enjoy the characters of this set mechanically. The setting is awesome. My favorite things in Unmatched is when they take weird and wacky things and insert them into this. Not that, like, this is a weird and wacky theme. It's a weird and wacky theme to be putting into a fighting game. Like, oh, now I'm going to have Shakespeare and he's going to go off and fight the T-Rex. Or I'm going to have Hamlet and he's going to go fight Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And so, you know, I love when they insert these public domain people into Unmatched. Those tend to be some of my favorite sets. And this is up there with one of my favorite sets. This one is going to get a 9 rating because I like the theme. I like the setting. I like the characters mechanically. They're all very interesting. And I do have one thing I want to talk about. It's kind of a worry thing. I'm not super worried about it, but it's something that might be concerning to me. And it's not a huge deal, but I am starting to notice that some characters feel similar to previous characters that have been released mechanically. And so I'll go over which characters some of these characters remind me of when I'm playing them. First, we have Shakespeare. Shakespeare wants you to play cards sort of in a certain order to get a special ability. You know, you want to get to that 10 syllable setting so that he can activate his special ability on that last card you played. He sort of reminds me of Little Red, where Little Red had a basket and you wanted to play certain cards on top of other cards in order to activate the secondary ability. That's what Shakespeare feels like to me. Hamlet. Hamlet has basically two sides that he can play as. He can play as to be or not to be, and whichever side you choose is going to give you some kind of bonus, and it might hurt you a little bit. So like if you choose not to be, you're going to take damage, but you're also going to deal out more damage while you're doing that. This sort of feels to me like the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde character, as well as sort of the Alice character. You know, Alice, you can be big or small, and you're going to get boons for choosing whichever one you're going to be. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is going to get bonuses for being certain ones. It's also going to get, you know, bad things happen for choosing certain characters. That's sort of what Hamlet feels like. And Titania sort of gives me that feel of Moon Knight. Moon Knight is pretty much my all-time favorite character in Unmatched. And Moon Knight has 3 different characters that he's playing as, that he's constantly alternating, that he's switching his special ability for. Titania has something similar with her glamour cards. You know, you're a lot of times you're switching, so there's Titania's special ability is constantly switching as well. So those 3 characters kind of remind me of previous characters in a way. The Wayward Sisters feel pretty unique to me comparatively, though. And like I said, it's not a huge worry, but it might be something that I'm going to be paying attention to in the future. Like, this was kind of one of the first sets where I'm like playing it and I'm like, oh, this character reminds me of this character. This character reminds me of this character. And it might give me some cause to concern that maybe they're running out of different mechanisms that they're going to use for this game. But still, a great set. It's getting a 9 rating from me. I absolutely adore the set. I had high expectations for this particular set coming in, and it kind of went above and beyond what I was expecting. The characters are awesome. The theme is awesome. I really enjoy this particular set. So, I mean, if you like Unmatched, this set might be a must-have for you. At least it is for me. I'm very excited about these characters and bringing them into the rest of the world of Unmatched. So yeah, that will complete this review. Make sure to comment down below your thoughts on these characters if you've played it. If you haven't, what do you think about Unmatched bringing in these public domain characters that just seem weird compared to some of the other stuff? I like it. Do you like it? And I know some people have said that they don't really like this theme, but other people have said they loved it. I'm in the love camp for this particular side. Yes, but if you did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe to see more weekly content from me, Shane, at the board meeting in the future. Hope you all have an amazing day. Take care.